And here I am. What's going on? What's I going to say? Everybody hear me all right? Everything good over there? As many of you have commented, I was not here on time yet. Yesterday. We did not do What the Fuck Tuesday, but we doing What the Fuck Wednesday. So it's the same thing. Actually, this has a better ring to it. Um, yeah. Yeah, usually Wednesday is usually my rest day or my research day. I start prepping up for the show on Thursday, the research topic. But yeah, volunteered at the polls. I was doing all this political stuff yesterday, and then I dragged my happy ass up in here and passed out. So that's what happened yesterday. But today we are going to do what we were gonna do yesterday with the advice letters that have come in. Now, as you know, I did some letters on Sunday because there were just so many. I was totally overwhelmed. I guess as this catches on, more and more letters are coming in, which is good because it gives us, more opportunities to help people, and it also gives us more. We can pick my cousins and we can pick better letters that are more interesting for broader scope of information, more a situation that more people are likely to have, that kind of thing. That's how we try to pick them so that it's not too personalized for one individual. So if those kind of questions, if you sent that in and it didn't get selected, most likely that's why. Or it was just too damn long because people write a damn novel. It's like, look, just give me the cliff notes. I don't need to know everything. All right. I'm glad you can hear me. Let me open up my LaCroix, my daily beverage. Oh, it's Popcorn Girl's birthday. Well, happy birthday. How old are you now? She's young. She's probably about 22 or something. Man, just think if I was 22, I would be terrorizing the world. It would just be over. No dudes would stand a chance. So let's get right down to it. And I just want to remind everybody that where you are is the Deaf Tourism channel. We are streaming live on both Twitch TV and on YouTube. And what we do on either Tuesdays or as today is a special case, we do live advice letters. People send in letters and I respond to them in real time. This is not prepared. I read the letters and then I think about it and then I give an answer. If you would like to have your question considered for this show in the future, please send it in on the advice submission form that you will find in the show description for any What the Fuck Tuesday show or at the top of this YouTube channel. Or you can navigate over to my website, survivingdating.com, and click the button that says Get Advice in the top nav bar. So, those three ways you can get to that form. All right, so here we go. Girl, where's the wine? I don't dare. I have to keep my mind sharp for these letters because every week they get worse. I can't. All right, so here we go. Hi, Deb. I've never written to an advice columnist before, so I hope I'm doing this right. I lurk on your YouTube page and listen to learn more about women so I can have a better relationship with my wife of 12 years. Okay. I'm 45, she's 37. We've been together for 28 years since grade school. Damn! And have 5 children together. She is the only woman I've ever loved. I would describe my marriage as very one sided, though. I am passive by nature, wanting to make everyone happy, whereas my wife is very aggressive, and this has been the state for most of our relationship. After a very stressful holiday flight with another couple for vacation, there was a disagreement as to who would get which room. I didn't really care, but my wife and the other woman's husband started to argue about who was going to get which room. I got between them and tried to calm my wife down as she has a temper. So his wife was arguing with the other woman's husband. Oh, she was doing too much. The other man is a relative of my wife's, and I would consider him to be a friend, but we're not close friends. There was quite aggressive arguing from both of them. Things calmed down and we got the room. The next day, I went to speak to the guy, and we went for a walk where I told him I was unhappy about things and some things that were said he apologized for, and we shook hands. He then apologized to my wife and also to me again. Fast forward 2 months. My wife is basically wanting us to finish as she thinks that I did not stand up for her at the time and that I should have had a go at her at the relative. I feel now perhaps I should have been more proactive towards him, but I kind of have always dealt with situations like this unless there was a physical threat. Then I would meet like with like. This came up after her wanting to unfriend her cousins and her cousin's mother as she felt the cousin had instigated the argument. I told her not to be hasty and just learn from the situation. I now think I'm being put as the scapegoat as she has not talked to me for a week now and counting where she's kind of okay with everyone else. Would appreciate hearing your opinion and what I should do about this. Thanks, Deb. Oh my God. Oh, something to listen to on your way home? Well, this is the thing though. This is the thing that's bothered me about this. She's known this man since she was, now if my math is correct, he said 20, what did he say? 28 years. So 28 plus, so 37 minus 28. Okay, since she was like, 8, 9 years old. She's known this man. She grew up with this man. She has a very good idea of his personality. So to throw a fit about it now, almost 30 years later, you doing too much and you acting a zip damn fool. You got 5 kids. Where the fuck you going? Who you think wants your ass with 5 kids? For real? One, two, maybe. But five, no. Not happening, sister. So, and the guy handled the situation very well, I think. Dude, if you're listening to this, I think you handled it in a very mature, responsible, and calm way. You got the desired result. Dude, apologize. You can bet after that conversation, he's never going to act like that again. He really shouldn't have been talking to your wife like that. I think that's what your wife wanted for you to get, to say actively to the dude, don't talk to my wife like that, something like that. But the bottom line is, she shouldn't be get up in no man's face. Even if that is her cousin's husband. I am have my cousins, I go to their house all the time. I would never talk to her husband like that. That is just foul, funky, and totally stupid and disgusting behavior for a grown woman 37 years old and a mama of 5 kids. You gonna be jumping in some dude's face and your husband's right there and you arguing about a fucking bedroom? Just switch off. A weekend always has 2 nights. So one day they change the sheets every day, right? So one night you had that and the next night the other couple have it, problem solved. What is the big deal? But I'm just like, so now she wants to finish. I'm assuming you mean that she wants to get a divorce over that. Sir, there's something else bothering your wife. I don't know what it is because you've only given me this one situation to look at, but with that reaction that she had to him, there's something going on with her. She's looking for something to be different, and rather than focusing on what she needs to be different about herself and changing her life for herself, she's looking outward and she's blaming you for some reason. Now it's like she didn't want to be a mama of 5 kids, and bitch, why didn't you use some fucking birth control? Whether you married or not, your ass don't have to have 5 kids. So, being mad at your husband when you knew he was like this for 30 years, that he's a, quiet kind of conciliatory guy versus one that's going to get up and grab his gat and want to go to blows and put hands on people. You already knew that your husband was like that. You married him and you've been married to him all this time. So why is it an issue now? So I'm really not understanding. That's what I'm saying. There's something going on with her because all these other situations have been the same for damn near for decades. So for her to start flipping out now and acting all disgruntled and evil and stupid, there's something going on with her. So what I'm gonna say to you is you need to sit your wife down and you need to say, I've noticed that you have a different attitude lately, and I wanted to find out if you were aware of what's going on with yourself and just making you act like this. Because it's not other people that's affecting you. Everyone around you has been exactly the same. The person who is having a problem and the person who is being different is you. And it looks like you're dissatisfied with something about your life, about yourself, about where things are going for you. Something is making you upset. So have you thought about what that is? If she hasn't thought about it, to say, well, maybe you should get some therapy so that they can help you sort that out. Because this kind of stuff here is, this is not really acceptable behavior in a woman who's almost 40 years old. You're acting like some little ghetto hoochie mama. And that's not the way that, a wife and mother of five is supposed to conduct herself. So that's the approach I would take if I were you. I would talk to her and see if she's gotten into her head, and most likely she's going to be defensive. And you what you talking about? You don't know nothing about me, man, 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 man. Well, he met her like that, but that's not the point. The point is not him, because he's not the one complaining. She's the one complaining. She's the one who's dissatisfied. He was fine with the marriage and fine with the resolution of the problem. So don't blame him. This is her. This is her problem that she needs to solve. Getting a divorce is not the answer, because she's going to still take that fucked up attitude and her dissatisfaction with herself and her life and where she is in life with her wherever she goes. So the time to solve this problem is now. And that means she needs to stop acting a fool and get in her head and figure out what is she needs to be happy and satisfied with herself. Do you want to go back to school? Do you want to take art classes? Do you want to get a job? I mean, a second job, a different job. What is it? What is it that you're looking for, lady, to make you be happy and satisfied with yourself? That's the key here. It's not him. He's not. He did nothing wrong to this. I know what she wanted from him, but I'm saying it's like you don't get married to somebody and expect him to flip and turn into, thug life situation when he's never been that kind of man. So to have that expectation of him suddenly when you the one getting in somebody's face and you want him to defend you about some shit that you started, well then, it's not like she was getting attacked by some man. She jumped in dude's face talking some bullshit to him about a fucking bedroom when there's two. Like I said, just switch off then if like one was so much better. Like say it was a cabin, right? And one had a fireplace in it. Well, and there's two couples. Okay, well one of you guys toss a coin and then that couple gets the room first and then the next night you switch and then the other couple has it. Since you guys are paying the same fee, you know what I mean? Just split it up and divide it up and it'll be even. Yeah, because she's 37, she might be going into early menopause. But either way, she needs to talk to a medical and or psychiatric professional to figure out what it is that she needs to do with herself, because I'm getting the feeling like she's just antsy. She wants change. She wants something different. And she's blaming everybody else and looking outside of herself for it instead of looking within. That's the energy I'm getting from this letter. That the woman is just, just all out of sorts with herself, and she's just, flipping around and acting stupid. Ooh, good luck with that, sir. But thank you for the letter, and you did well for your first time. Wasn't too long. All right, question number 2. Hi, Deb. I am a 41-year-old white woman. Oh, and somebody asked me the other day what the race of people was, and I'm like, am I supposed to be able to tell that from a letter? I mean, sometimes you can tell because of they mention something that is like really a black thing. But I mean, if in general, unless the person says I'm black, I'm Filipino, I'm German, I'm Chinese, I don't know what they are. It's not important. What's important is the issue. But this lady has identified herself as white, so let's go. I am a 41-year-old white woman, and I really appreciate your priceless advice. My white dad abandoned me and my mother when I was 6 years old. My dad married a rich white bitch, oh my, and cut off all his family, including his own parents. Whoa! Oh, because she was rich. He replaced me with his new daughter, and she is just like her evil mom. After watching your petty video, how can I make my heartless father and stepmother never forget what they did to me? Love you so much. Aw, so sweet. What would I do? Hmm. Do you know where they live? Do you know what their social circle is? What kind of, what town they live in? Like, people who know them, like what kind of newspaper do they read? What do they, what's going on there? I would take out a full page ad in the newspaper, and it might cost you $2,500, but it would be $2,500 well spent. And then you put a big thing with his picture and her picture and your picture when you were 6 and your mama's picture then of you guys as a happy family with him. and you put that in the paper, and then you talk about how he did you and how he abandoned even his own parents because he was chasing money, and he was how this bitch with her money was so much more important to him than his blood and the family and the people that loved him. Just dog his fucking ass out. Talk about him like he's a dog with a tail with shit between his legs. That's what you do. And just let everybody know. So the little secrets that he had and whatever, since he's like cut everybody off, right? There might be a lot of people that don't really know that about him, and that's when you put his business on Front Street. Just put pictures and everything. Get a picture of your grandparents looking all sad, of old and stuff and decrepit like they are now, and how sad they are that they haven't. Put a quote from them. We really wish we had to see our son. He's our only son. That's what I would do. I would go for the gusto. And it won't be nothing he could do about it because every word of it will be true. Because, they try to say stuff like it's like slander and libel, but it's factual. It's just reporting facts, just like newspapers do. Okay? That's what they do. So your what you tell should be right in line with it. And if you wanted to, you could even make it be like an obituary, the death of a family or something like that, and then put the whole thing. But use your creativity. But that's the essence of what should go on the page. You could get contributions from everybody in the family, so you don't have to pay for it out of pocket yourself. Everybody chip in, and y'all get graphic designer or something to lay your page out with the pictures and make it look all cute. Put the pictures at little angles and shit with the captions and whatnot, and do all of that. Yes. I would humiliate the fuck out of both of them and let everybody see how fucking trifling and disgusting they are. Because you know what? Just because you have money, that don't mean you have class. And for a man to abandon his wife, his own fucking parents, and his child, and his wife chasing some bitch with money shows his character. And that's what you need to expose, that your daddy ain't shit. And I'm sorry that that happened to you, but that's how you get his ass back. Next question. Question number 3. Yes, honey. Deb is very evil. Very evil. Beyond this cute little face lies Satan. So it's like, he would not get away with that shit. And then when he dies, because he gonna leave a will. Make sure that you find out when he leaves and contest it. Tie that shit up in court forever, because he gonna try to leave you out. But you got just as much right to whatever his half is as anybody else. So you make sure you start saving your money up for a lawyer, so you could tie that shit up. File that lawsuit the instant the ink before the ink is dry on his death certificate. File. Get your cut. Okay, question number 3. She's in the age range of 19 to 26. My boyfriend says mean things to me when he is angry. I am tired of it. And when I try to give him a taste of his own medicine, he gets even more mean. That's because you don't know how to do it. You're too young. He just says anything that he knows will hurt me. Recently, he had just stopped apologizing. It's really starting to add up. I am very hurt, and I spent the whole day last weekend trying to tell him how hurt I was and that I wanted him to stop, and then he blames me for keeping on pushing him. It's my fault for what he said, he claims. This is not the first time it has happened, is why I am so upset. I have asked him to stop multiple times. It happens at least once a week. I don't know how to win with him. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. I don't know what to do to get him to realize what he's doing and to stop. He understands fully well what he's doing. He enjoys torturing you. That's the part you don't get. He's a fucking asshole. He's an abusive little fucktard. And you sitting up there trying to explain, wasting your breath and your life energy. The only way that you deal with a man like this is say, you know what, fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy. I hope your dog gets run over, and I hope your daddy has a stroke and sits in a wheelchair drooling for the rest of his life. That's what I hope for you, motherfucker. And now in the meantime, I want you to get the fuck out of my life. Don't you call me, stay a fuck away from me, or I'm gonna run you over with my car. I'm like, shh. I'm just, no. You do not. Okay, now remember that. I don't know if you probably didn't listen on Sunday. I was saying there's this saying where they say, we teach people how to treat us. And I totally disagree with that. You don't teach people nothing. They already know what to do. They just choose not to do it. What the only responsibility we have, though, is what we will accept from other people and what we will not. So you put up boundaries. Now, see, you haven't put up any. You up there like when I give him a taste of his own medicine, he gets even more mean. I mean, he just enjoys fucking with you. So what you have to do is understand that this is the relationship that you're going to have as long as you with him. Verbal and emotional abuse over and over and over and over and over and over. He's going to totally tear you down psychologically until there's nothing left. The only thing that you can do is to get out of this relationship exactly the way I said. Cuss his fucking ass out, wish hell and all kind of bad stuff on everybody in his family. Even if he has nieces and nephews, wish hell shit on them too. I don't have barriers there. When you fuck with me, I want everybody in your family dead. Everybody, your goldfish, all y'all. And and then just leave them alone. That's what you have to do, young lady. You're young in the 19 to 26 age group. It sounds like you like 19 because you just really don't know what you're doing here. This is not something that you take from a man. There shouldn't have been not the first time. It should have been one time. The first time he did it, you got on his ass, and then he does it again. You're out. You don't stick around and let somebody talk to you like that over and over and over. Get the fuck out of here. Mm-mm. But no, honey. I want everybody that's got even a drop of your fucking genetics in them to drop dead, be killed over, draw fucked up. That's what I like. That's what I want. That's what I want to hear. I don't know what she wants, but she's tripping. All right, now question number 4. She's also in the 19 to 26 age group. Hello, Miss Deborah. What is your opinion on getting married young? I'm 22. But I'm kind of a traditional type and I want to wait until I get older to even think about marriage. Do you think this is overall a good idea? If I had it my way, I wouldn't get married until I'm in my 30s. Absolutely, that's a wonderful idea. At least like, 28. It should be to me that's the earliest that a woman should get married. Now, let me tell you why. They talk about all the changes that we go through in adolescence and you know, in our teens, and that's true. There's a lot of physical, mental, emotional, hormonal, musculature, structural, skeletal. All these things are changing as you go into mature. What they call it. When I forgot what the term is. Uh, Puberty. You go through puberty, and then the bodies continue to develop in your teens and all stuff. Okay. Then finally, for girls around 19, 20, they stop growing. They're pretty much set, what they are, and they tend to be more emotionally mature than males are at that age. But emotionally, as well as financially, educationally, um, a life experience wise, and wisdom wise, you continue to grow and expand and change who you are throughout your 20s. It's a decade of expansion. Whereas the other part is more about your physical body, puberty and menstrual cycle, and boys get hormone, I mean that stuff, physical stuff, and dealing with that. So that's the teens. But by the time all that's finished, you're in your 20s now. That's the decade where you change your thinking, your concept of who and what you are. You start to find your place in the world. You start to realize your dreams of what you want to be as an adult. All of these things start coming into place. Now, I'm going to tell you, what you think you're going to be and want and like and all that stuff at 19, 20, 21, when you get to 28, 29, 30, you're going to look back at that and say, what the fuck was I thinking? I was tripping. And so that's why you don't get married in your 20s. You just don't. It's just most of the people who get married that young end up divorced because they go through that period of change I'm talking about. And at the end of it, even though they might still like that person that they married at 20, 21, 22, they like them, but they're a different person. So they need a different kind of individual. Unless you two are really on the same page, growing and changing together at the same pace and in the same ways, you arrive at that 28, 29, 30, looking at each other like, who the fuck are you and why am I here? That's what happens. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to think about marriage, because you said you want to think about it, you're not sure all this old stuff. Don't even start thinking about it at all until you're 28, 29, 30. That's perfect. Okay, then you got your 30s to have kids and get married and all this old stuff. You still look good. Make sure you don't drink too much. Don't be doing street drugs and don't be smoking. And take care of your skin. That's the main thing. Use sunblock. Use sunblock. See me, I don't have any wrinkles. And that's the thing. You have to eat well. You have to get your rest. Don't be using a whole bunch of makeup on your skin. It just fucks your skin up. And use proper moisturizers and sunblocks and things, and your complexion will stay nice into your 80s. My grandmother was 90 years old and had not a wrinkle in her skin, not one. And so she taught me a lot of stuff, so I use a lot of techniques that she taught me, and that's why my skin looks the way that it is, even though I'm old as hell. But you don't worry about marriage. And so you're gonna look when you get about that age, you look for a guy, 3, 4, 5 years older, because then by then he might be on your level mentally and emotional. He'll have his money right. He'll feel confident about who he is as a man. He will have dealt with the hoochie cycle of his life and all this sort of stuff, and he'll be ready to be somebody's daddy and somebody's husband. He'll be positioned for that responsibility. What you don't want to do is be like Steve Harvey talks about, where he talks about his book about how a man is building, and you with him, and he's building, so he's not gonna be paying much attention to you, and blah 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 blah. So you don't want to be there for that motherfucker's building phase. Fuck that. Build on your own, nigga. I'm not here. What am I name? My name Kizzy or some shit. I'm supposed to be helping you do all this stuff, and all I get back is some whatever them three things he said in that book, a bunch of bullshit. So you don't be let him do that on his own. And then when he's ready for a wife, then he can come and find you. But this helping niggas become, whoever they want to be and all sorts of stuff, and building them up, and assisting them in their development and all that stuff. Shit. Oh. No, you use sunblock every day. Unless you live in a place. Well, no, every day. Every day. Yes. Yeah, exfoliation 3 times a week. I use a clay mask once or twice a week. I have moisturizing mask. I have them always walking around here. I got them Korean kind with the that you put on your face. Those things are the bomb. And if you don't want that, just use aloe vera gel. It works the same way. All right, so that's my ideas on marriage, and it's really not all that. But if you must do it, just wait until then to even start looking, because men don't have no sense until they get about 33, 35. Just dumb as a rock. All right, question number 5. Oh, now see, there you go, Vanessa. That's what I'm talking about. Van got it going on. You take care of yourself. That's what happened. Okay, number 5. This has really gone on too long. I should have dealt with it earlier, but I'm a coward. I'm 36 and live in Berkeley. Oh, a homegirl. I casually started dating, quote, Tom. She put Tom about 2 months ago. We've had 6 official dates. He lives in San Jose. For those who don't know, this area from Berkeley to San Jose is, well, it depends what part of San Jose. North San Jose is probably about 50 miles. South San Jose, it could be 75 miles, 80 miles. So, but she doesn't say, so. So seeing each other more frequently with work and everything is difficult. Yeah, that's a hell commute too. On our fourth or fifth dates, I ended up paying for everything. What? We'd been splitting up until that point. The sixth date consisted of me picking him up in San Jose, driving back to Berkeley, and taking him to the airport another 15 miles away in Oakland. Oh, hell no, that motherfucker would have had to pay me. On the way to the airport, we stopped at an ATM for him to get cash for his trip. He did not offer to reimburse me for any of my travel expenses. That is a long fucking way to drive, people. I'm telling you. So she went 100 miles there and back, and then another 30 miles to go take him to the airport and then to drive back to her house. So that's 130, 150 miles that she put on her car and her time and her gas to drive his chauffeur his ass around, and he didn't even want to offer to fill up her tank or nothing? No. See, he's a bum. This is a bum. So then she says, this is something I could look beyond if I felt I had a connection or a future with him. No, you never look beyond that. I don't care if you're married to the man. I mean, of course, the money is mutual then, but even when you're married, your husband's like, babe, we put a lot of miles on the car. Pull over here so we can, fill up your tank. That's how a man is even if you're married to him. He makes sure that your car is full of gas. He don't want you to get stranded no damn where. Okay, so this here is a monkey. All right, so he sent me a text message today stating that he has a 4-day weekend. Oh yeah, that is this weekend is 4-day weekend, and would like to see me. Not something I want to do, but again, being the current I am, I can't bring myself to tell him no. I know from the things he's been saying that he's had a hard time in the dating world, that his self confidence is low, and that he's actually attached to me despite the shortness of our courtship. To top it all off, when I met him, I told him that I'd been abused in my now over marriage and that I wasn't ready for a serious relationship, something he's ignoring. And it's absolutely true. The more I try to date, the worse I feel about finding someone else. I am truly not ready to date any man seriously, Prince Charming or otherwise. Can you give me some ideas on how I should explain all of this to him? I'd rather send him an email or text to tell him actually, but I'm not sure if that's appropriate or if that's just too cold. My thing is this. Yeah, it's sad that you did all that. This to me, the niggas like, can you take me to the airport? No. And they could live right down the street. I don't give a fuck. I'm not. What do I look like? Shuttle service, Debbie? No, I'm not taking you to the airport. That's too much traffic. I don't feel like it. It gives me stress hearing all them airplanes and all them horns honking and all that old shit. The police beeping those whistles every 5 seconds if you pull in to let somebody at you. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing that. And I don't know why you could just tell him no. No, I'm not doing that. I'm busy. So what you have to do, all these things you talking about, all these explanations you want to give, how you should explain all that. You don't need to explain all that to him. All you have to do is say, um, as far as this weekend goes, I've made plans for this weekend, so I'm not available. That's all you have to do. Um, whenever he's coming back from his trip, which I guess he's going to be back, right? You said he's going away business, but okay, well, you don't say how long he's going to be gone, but I'm assuming he's going to be back. That's why he wants to see you. Um, you just, if he gives you any flack about it, say, look, I told you I wasn't looking for anything serious. Excuse me. When we first met, and I just realized, the more time that I spend with you, that might be sending a mixed message. You take responsibility. Don't go through all this explanation. You take responsibility. Say, I might be sending a mixed message, so I want to be very clear about my intentions here. I don't intend to be in a relationship with you or anyone else right now. I'm still trying to get over it. It was fun and everything, but I think we should just let it go at this, and I'll move on, and you do the same. No, she's not gonna ghost him because she's too much of a coward, because he would call and then she would be like feeling guilty and stuff, because anybody who's going to ghost you, they don't guilt does not exist to people who ghost. They don't feel guilty ever. Why do I know? I am the president of that club. I am the ghost girl. So you don't feel guilty. You'd be like, fuck you, motherfucker, I'm out. I don't need your buying, permission, cooperation, agreement, none of that. I'm gone, and you just deal with it when I'm gone, or don't. I don't really care, because all I care about is me. And that's what a person is who ghosts people. That's what they care about, is themselves. I hate to say it. It's rather sociopathic, but it's true. That's why they don't want to have no conversation about it. They want to hear you cry and whine and beg and plead for another chance, and what I do wrong and all that stuff. They don't want to fucking talk to you anymore. They don't want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. That's why they ghost you. So people need to get the clue and stop calling, stop begging, stop in the emailing, stop hitting up people up on social media and sending texts and all those shit. If somebody's not responding to you, that means they don't want to be bothered with you. Leave it alone. Just maintain some dignity and walk away. So the main thing here is, you mentioned all the stuff about his dating problems and all that shit. See, you slide into that codependent bullshit where you give a fuck about some motherfucker's sad life. I mean, what's that got to do with you? You have your own sad life stories. What's getting your ass kicked and shit in your other marriage. So let's worry about you right now. You let him worry about himself. He has dating failures, that he's going to continue to have them because of the way that he treats people. This is bullshit. He's an inconsiderate little ass, and that's why no woman wants to be bothered with him. You know. So you don't. That's just do what I told you. Don't be going into no explanation. And in the future, shut your fucking mouth. Don't be telling me about your past and your hurts and your stories. Look at the video on this channel about women talk too damn much, because that was you. You was doing too much. You don't ever tell me some stuff like that about how you were hurt and vulnerable and some man dogged your ass out. You never do that. Never. You go to your grave with that shit. You don't need to let them know that some other man abused you and got over on you like that. That's something you tell your girlfriend, your mama, or something. You don't never tell no man no bullshit like that. Never. It's just psychologically a bad move to make. Oh my God, that's just that was like, to me, that was the worst thing, the worst mistake that you made here. And only 6 days in, and you're already spilling your guts on some motherfucker that you paying half for, and then you treated twice too, and then drove from Kingdom Come all the way back. See, you was, I don't know what you was thinking you was building here, but I don't see nothing here but wasting a whole bunch of time and gas. Question number 6. 6 years ago, I met a guy who was 1 year into the 2 year agreement that he had with his ex and her mother. They set this up to enable each one to get back on their feet. I wonder what that means, though. I met the ex's mother, and she seemed really nice. And if he and I eventually got our own place together, I wonder what he means. Oh, were they living with? I don't know what this means. Then I lost my job, so we had to downsize. My boyfriend went over to his ex's mother's house to do some yard work, and then he came back telling me that she's struggling financially and is looking for a roommate to rent out a room. And since we were trying to downsize, that he would rather give money to her and than a stranger to help her out. And his ex was remarried and moved on, so I understood that after 18 years how he wanted to help the woman out, and so I agreed. It's been 3 years. We can't use certain parts of the house. You can't use anything in her kitchen. She complains every time she comes home. They argue every, like him and I have no relationship. I feel like this is a three-way relationship, and her opinion counts more than mine. I'm always pushed to the side, or our relationship is pushed aside. We always have to consider his ex's mother's feelings and how she'd think about something if we want to do anything since it's her house. We start picking everything up at 6 o'clock because she'll be getting off work soon and likes things tidy and organized. Well, who doesn't? And if you fucked up the house, you need to pick it up. So I don't have a problem with that part. Basically, the only time we live our relationship is from 10 to 6 when she's at work. Okay, then something. I'm tired of hearing about the ex and what they're doing and where they're going and everything else every single day. Every time someone wants to come over and ask where I live, and I tell them I'm living with my ex's mother's, my boyfriend's ex's mother, and not even the ex mother-in-law, just the ex's mother, they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm starting to feel crazy. Am I crazy for wanting to leave him here with that woman and go on my merry way? We barely speak anymore. He's too busy making the house nice and painting, and now he's not even working. I don't know what to think, but I want my own space and relationship that isn't directed by the mother of my boyfriend's ex and her wants and dislikes. What should I do? Girl, you should have been the fuck up out of that hot mess. I don't know why you even agreed to that. Why would you agree to live in a house with your boyfriend's ex, for some woman he was with for 18 years, the ex's mama's house? You know, the mama is resentful of you because, she's used to her dude being with her daughter, and she is looking at, he probably doesn't feel comfortable because he can't be himself with her there. He's, in a weird relationship with the woman, and plus she's a bitch. So, I mean, why would you care about helping her out? You should have been gone. And you got a job, you got some money, you could rent a room, go move into a room with some other woman, like a 2 bedroom situation, and, two ladies in the same house. Do that. Look for a room to let, and in a 2 bedroom apartment with somebody, and put all your shit in your car and say, adios, amigos, and then drive off. And that's it. Change your cell phone number so he can't call you, and don't tell him where you moved. And that's what you do. He ain't working because he too busy fixing up his ex's mama's house. He said, remember I made the video about how men never get over their first love? This is a fucking shining example with rainbows and stars and hearts. He's going to stay hooked in with that woman and her mama forever. There's nobody who can come between them. That's just crazy. She's crazy. As soon as he proposed that shit as something that he would rather do, to help her. I said, well, I would rather not do that. And so if that's where you want to go, by, and I'll see you in the next lifetime because I'm out. Yeah, these are some dumb, dumb, dumb ladies. They got some, like, where's your self esteem? Where's your sense of pride in yourself? Why would you subject yourself to that kind of emotional torment? I mean, I just don't get it. And the first thing, I wouldn't give a fuck if she was the same, if it was her house. It's like, if I'm paying money, bitch, then I'm going to use the kitchen and I'm going to use the pots and pans, and that's just the way it's going to be. Otherwise, we going to leave. I'm leaving anyway, and then you can figure out how to keep your house by yourself because you won't have this income. Anybody who lives in a house renting a room has rights to use the kitchen. Okay, there's only one kitchen unless you're going to put up a separate one for them. You can't tell somebody they can't use the kitchen and then act all stupid about it. You wanted them there, so unless you're going to prepare all their meals for them, then they're going to be in there cooking and preparing their own meals. And that means they have every right to, because they paying a big chunk of money so that you can keep your fucking house. I'd let the bitch house go into foreclosure. Wouldn't give a damn. Question number 7. Yeah, please don't be a dumb broad. Woo. My girlfriend, 27, recently took a girls' trip to Vegas with one of her friends who's married, and she's 30. One night, while they were out at the club, she was approached by a dude and his friend. The guys asked them to come sit with them in their VIP section. She said she accepted the offer because her feet were hurting. She said that they talked with the guys bought them a couple of drinks, and that was that. I understand the whole men buying women drinks at clubs. In fact, she was always getting hit on even when we go out together. I get it that guys buy women drinks at the club. However, I did raise my eyebrows when she told me, especially after realizing the picture she sent me that night while they were out, she was sitting with another dude. I would like to know, am I wrong for feeling the way I feel, or am I overreacting? I've addressed the issue, but she insisted it was nothing more than what she said it was. What is it that you addressed exactly? You have a woman who's fine, okay? Other men are going to be looking at her. Men look at women even when they aren't fine. But if you have an attractive woman, there's going to be guys that want to be seen with her. They're going to want to talk to her. They're going to want to dance with her. She's out by herself. She's not married. She's your girlfriend. Remember that. So you don't have no rights, dude. See, that's the thing. Y'all be getting your roles confused. You just a boyfriend. Your ass could be changed like panties, okay? You don't have no claims on nothing. Nothing. And likewise, I tell women the same thing. You got this cold boyfriend, that don't mean shit. What is that? Just the nigga you fucking. That's what a boyfriend is. And the same thing with you, dude. This just the chick you fucking. You don't have no kind of ties to her whatsoever than the ones that she lets you have. So in a situation like this, she said that nothing happened. You have no proof that anything did. You have no proof that anything is any different than what she told you. Now, my thing is she was done for telling you. That's my thing. I don't wonder why do women blab so fucking much about what they do. And I keep telling y'all, don't ever talk to one man about another man. How many times do I have to say this? Y'all just be running off at the mouth, talking just too much shit to these men about what some other dude said, other dude did, where some other dude took you, how some other dude screws. What's the purpose of that? When it comes to another dude, you don't say shit. You keep your damn mouth closed. They don't want to hear about that, just like you don't hear about some other bitch. What the fuck is that about? Oh my God. So she was done for telling him. But dude, you need to just ratchet this down about 57 notches. Because, you have no proof of nothing. You can work yourself up into a state in your imagination about some bullshit. And if it was that important that what your woman's doing and that no other men be around and stuff. Next time, get you somebody who's ugly and then you won't have a problem. Okay? But you want somebody that makes your dick hard? Well, so do other men. That's just the way it is. Question number 8. She's in the 26 to 35 age group. Dear Deb, I've been married for 9 years. We have 2 children. I'm like, this whole thing, this is just a hot mess. See, this is why I don't be drinking. This is why we don't be drinking, because this kind of stuff requires my mind to be functioning fully. In 2014, so what was that, 4 years ago, he had an affair and I decided that I wanted a divorce. We separated, but I had a change of heart because being a single mama was just not for me. The problem is not him, it's my best friend. She's a single mother and she cannot stand my husband. She won't come anywhere near him, and she constantly talks negatively about him. Could this be because you blabbed and told her about your husband having an affair? I guess probably it is because it's your best friend. So she's got residual resentment towards him for hurting you, and that's where that's coming from. And but she needs to get over it because that's why you don't be telling people your business. But anyway, she won't come. Okay, she refused to come to my daughter's birthday party because he was there. What else is he gonna be except that his baby's? What? My daughter was so hurt that they missed the party. I also babysit her daughter every day while she goes to work, and when my husband is home, she won't even come inside to get her daughter. She struggles often, and I help her out financially from time to time, and she never says thank you. Oh, really? 2 weeks ago, I gave her $120 for her light bill, and when I asked for it back, she said, "It's sad that you asking me for money when you got a whole grown ass man in your house. I'd rather struggle and be single than be with a broke man. My husband isn't wealthy, but he makes enough for me to stay home with my kids and her daughter. Deb, she calls me a pick me and is constantly putting me and my husband down, and I'm tired of it. She says I'm a fool for taking my husband back, and I'm desperate. I'm happy with my husband. I have forgiven him, but she keeps bringing up the past. That's why you never tell a bitch your business. I recently went over to her house and saw my Prada perfume I had been missing was sitting on her dresser. I asked her why she took it, and she said, I didn't take it. You left it over here. Deb, I've never taken my perfume from my house, and I know she tried to steal from me. No, she didn't try. She did. She hasn't paid me to babysit her daughter in 3 weeks either. It's close to the holidays, and I don't want to cut her off, but I'm fed up with her behavior. What do I do? Okay, let me flip back because I need to address this line by line. Okay, I addressed why she can't stand the visual resentments, but to take it out on your baby, not to come to her party with with the baby that's babysits at your house every day. So you obviously your daughter knows the baby really well, and so she was hurt by that. Okay, so now you say she struggles often, and I help her out financially from time to time, and she never says thank you. Okay, this is the main point here that I mean. Every time she's talking about, you asking for money back, and she can't stand your husband, you're not supposed to give her anything. Let me tell you why. That's the money that the man that she can't stand made. Okay, she can't stand him, right? She don't even want to be in the room with him, but she got her hand out for his money. He made that money, not you, right? He the one getting up going to work. You the one at home with the kids, right? Doing the daycare babysitting thing that she's not even paying you for, right? So if you give her another dime, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kick your ass. That's what I'm gonna do because that's your husband's money. Don't be giving your husband's money to some bitch that calls you names and doesn't even want to look at your husband. Okay? Then you gotta give her a written notice with the bill for what she owes you and tell her that she has 1 week to find daycare and not to bring her kid to your house anymore because she's in arrears and that you have thought about it and the way that she acts stealing your things, being purposely intentionally rude and hurtful to your child and disrespecting both you and your husband, it's time to cut ties with her and let her know that. Say, so you're going to be on your own. Are you not? I'm not giving you any money. I don't want you to call me. I don't want you coming to my house. I'm not babysitting for you. This is it. It's over. And really what you should do is do that to her, since she like to be such a little bitch, do that to her on a Friday. And then call her on Saturday and say, you got 24 hours to find another babysitter because I'm not taking care of your kid anymore. And let her do that for her. And then make sure your ass is not at home on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when she would normally drop that baby out because she's going to come begging. Don't be home. Find somewhere to go. I don't care if you have to go sit in Starbucks and play on your phone or go to a library and sit there in the back somewhere reading books or watching videos in the video section. You do something so that your ass is not in that house. And so she can knock on that door till her fingers turn bloody and you will not be there. This is a bitch here. And I hope you stole your perfume back. You know, you should have politely got it and not said a word. Just put it right back in your purse and took your shit home. That's what I would have done. One time I had this friend. Oh, this was the end of that too. This guy had gone to France, some business trip or something, and he came back and had me this silk. It was like a what they call it, like a camisole thing. a bra and a half slip set that was made from silk that had hand embroidered flowers on it. He paid a grip for this stuff. It was like the most beautiful lingerie I've ever owned in my life. This stuff was just, I mean, I didn't even want to wear it. I was, like I put it on the head, like matching. Okay, it was the panties, bra, and the camisole thing. So, and then the half slip. And so, I put it on. He took pictures of me posing in it, all this old stuff. But as far as like wearing it, I was like, it was so beautiful. I didn't even want to wear it. And then, so one day, like I said, I wasn't really wearing it. So I didn't really, pay too much attention. But one day I go to this chick's house, right? And I go to her bathroom. What do I see on the floor of her bathroom with her dirty laundry? My half slip. And I didn't even know it was missing, like I said, because I didn't really wear this stuff. I just had it and would look at it and touch it and stuff. But somehow this bitch had gone into my house and into my drawer and taken the half slip. And she also took the underpants. So, I never told dude. He would have just been too hurt. I never told him. And, but I charged her up. I was like, what, you coming to my house stealing my shit now? And, it was like some irreplaceable stuff, right? And she just looked at me with this, like, so what, bitch kind of face. I'm like, okay. I'm not going to tell you guys what I did to her house, but let me just say that there was a whole bunch of shit broken when I left, including some lamps, some pictures, and a whole bunch of vases and a window. So, the value of what you stole, your ass going to have to unass it now to fix all this shit. And I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about because the only people who was there was me and her. And so she said I did. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I left it. I fucked her shit up. I'm very evil like that. But yeah, that's what you have to do, lady. You got somebody who's trying to take advantage of you. You're talking about your husband like a dog, and you giving her money and trying to help her out. So you're doing too much. You're being too soft. You got to rise up like a bitch on this cow. She's just doing the most. So it's like if she gets put out of her place and she got to live in the dark and the cold, oh well, that's her problem. She shouldn't have been calling your husband's name and calling you a pick me and all that old shit, and putting your husband down. A man that she's looking to help her keep her lights on, she want to put him down. Bitch, get out of here. Oh, you see, me, you know it. I'm just like, what? I see my shit, and it's like, I don't want it back. It's like I never even wore it other than to put it on to take those pictures. But you think I'm gonna wash them and put some on after somebody else's coochie been and buy underpants? Not in this lifetime. Yeah, but I never told him. Ooh, mm-mm. But we broke up anyway, which was kind of a relief before he had a chance to ask me, well, where's that stuff I got? Oh, that would have been ugly. Okay, question number 9. I know I shouldn't care because he's with me and has asked me to be his wife. But I'm bothered that his ex won't change her last name. She still has his. As court ordered, she should have changed it. I have made comments that I'm going to tell her something when we announce our wedding date. He apologized when he has no right to. I told him it's not his fault. But what bothers me most is that he isn't bothered like he doesn't care. He gives child support monthly and has to write her last name. I asked him if it bothers him that he writes her name and no answer do I get. Should I be concerned that he won't acknowledge it or am I being ridiculous? What do you guys think I'm going to say? Okay, let me explain something to you, chick. Under the law, when you get a divorce, there's no court order that you have to change your name. She can use, even if she marries somebody else, she can still use that name if she wants to. She can look in the phone book and pick a name and use that name if she wants to. You and nobody else can tell another person what name they have to use. Okay, now let's start there. Number 2, don't you think that maybe she might want to keep that name so that her and her child had the same name? It makes it easier for the kid, and it also identifies her as having been an ex-wife versus a baby mama. Now that might be an image that she's very concerned with. Did you ever think of that? It's better in some people's mind, and for the kid to have been like a divorced wife than a baby mama who never got married, and that's why you and your kid have different names. Okay? Did you ever think of that? All right. Now, The other point I want to make here is um, he pays child support. That's what he's supposed to do. Keep in mind, though, once you marry him, if anything happens to him so he can't pay that child support, your ass is going to be writing that check with a person who's got the same last name as you paying his child support because that's how it works. Right? It's community property. So everything that's yours is gonna be his, which means it's gonna come. You're gonna be tapping your ass gonna get tapped for some of that child support too. And once you get married, since you're gonna be joining incomes, she's gonna be entitled to higher child support because of you. So he's gonna have to pay even more money because some of it's going to be your contribution to the household income. So the amount that you have to pay is going to increase. Okay, I want you to understand where I'm going with this because you all enamored with the fact that he asked you to be his wife, but you better give this some serious thought. The other thing I want to comment on is you talking about you gonna tell her something when you announce your wedding date. Don't be a dumb bitch. Please don't be a dumb bitch and say some shit like that to somebody. You know, I don't know this woman, and she probably has more class than I do, but I would cuss your ass smooth out, and I would say my last name in every sentence that I could say it, just to fuck with you since I know it bothers you. I would send you emails with my name in it. I would send you texts with my name in it. I would send you pigeons, carrier pigeons, with my name in it. Oh, I would wear you out with my name just 'cause I know I can. So see, you just playing yourself because you just letting everybody know your weakness. And somebody who's evil like me, I'ma do like this, and I'ma commence to fuck your head up as often as possible. Every time I wake up, I'ma send you a text. Hi, Karen, whatever. It's sending you a text. I will be wearing you out. See, this is some people that they don't have no game. They too fucking emotional. Remember I told you guys how women need to control their emotions. Here's a perfect example. She all worked up about somebody's name. Bitch, if you don't want to have the same last name as her, then keep your name. Or you go in the phone book and pick a name. That's the solution. You don't have to have his last name because it's already taken. That's your point. That's why you mad. But that's what happens when you be the get the sloppy seconds. You the second wife. So that's what happens. That's just part of the package. Either you accept it or you go and get a man and you be the first wife. So then you can fuck with the second wife the way that you're being fucked with right now. That's the only way you can do it. You either get a man who's you're gonna be his first wife, or you accept this shit, or you continue to use your maiden name, and then you don't have no problem with what name she used because it's irrelevant. You're gonna be, still, Karen Smith or whatever, and then she gonna be, the ex Mrs. Rollo Wilson or whatever, and he's gonna be Rollo Wilson, and his kid's gonna be Rollo Wilson Jr., and then they'll be over there, and you still have your name, but you'll be married to him. So you figure out how you want to work that, and make that happen. But she's only doing that because she knows it bothers you. But like I said, she could very well have a reason if it concerns the child, and that's you know, something that is a serious consideration, especially since they just got divorced. All right. Ooh, this is honey. This is some crazy stuff here. Okay, I think this is the wait. Is this the last one? Yes, and it's long too. Let me see what's going on in the chat. I haven't been paying much attention. Was somebody in here trying to have an attitude? Okay, I just blocked that young person, whoever that is. Ah, Van, that's the hood coming out. I don't know. I'm just like, this is just too much. These people are just too much. I don't quite know what to say there. I blocked the troll. They're blocked. I made you this way. Sorry. Sorry. All right, this is the last one. Oh my God. Okay, how long is this sucker? Ooh, these people today. My boyfriend and I have been together with some breakups lasting from a few weeks to a few months. What? Over the last 6 years. We are both in our 60s. Ha 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 ha. Face palm. Oh. Most of the reasons for the breakups were due to his money, his financial situation. He has made mistakes in the past. And while I can be with someone who has little in terms of money, I cannot be with anyone, even a person I really love, and end up taking care of them financially. I'm comfortable but not wealthy enough to support two people through retirement and have worked hard and saved most of my life. I also have two children in their 20s that aren't fully settled and need my help from time to time since I am widowed. Ooh, excuse me, these bubbles are coming back. I find that every now and then when I get anxious about his money issues, I go online and look for other men. Oh my God. Okay, ethics is gone. You guys can stop talking about him or her, or it, whatever that happened. I blocked them. They're gone. Um, He, of course, has no idea, what I'm doing feels wrong, and I feel guilty as I should. He assured me that my concerns are or will be addressed, and sometimes they are. However, in the last round, he assured me he completely changed financially because of my help, and while I know he is paying his bills, I also know he can do so because he is using money that he inherited, which he's draining to pay his bills, and there isn't that much left. Did he really change from not paying his cards when he couldn't afford it then? He works and collects Social Security, so there is more than enough money to pay his regular bills and have some money left over for entertainment and the like. I often have been paying for his meals and other things so that he doesn't have to use his funds on me, and it is somewhat equal. He has been saving a small amount each month in a money market, as I suggested, but that doesn't amount to much more than $200 a month. 200, well, I guess at 60, that $200 a month isn't that much. My other non negotiable is that he preserves what's left in his inherited funds in case he needs it. I asked recently about the money left over, and he said he started, quote, moving the money over to his own account since it was left in trust due to his debt history. I also assumed that meant he would add those funds to the money market account, not just spend it. He has also maintained his long term care insurance. I feel that there is no way to move the relationship forward unless I'm comfortable with this issue, since he wants to live with me very soon. And I would too, under quote, normal circumstances. On the other hand, each time we break up, I miss him terribly, and so does he. What do I do? What you do is accept that you have a fuck up, a 60-year-old plus fuck up as a boyfriend. That's what you do. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this because this putting money away and all this stuff. This just shit he should have done in his youth instead of dicking around. See, that's what niggas do. They dick around in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and then they get 60 and they suddenly realize, oh no, I'm old now. What I'm gonna do? And then they start trying to save and get a little nest egg and going and shit. But it's too late then. So if he's getting Social Security, that means he's at least 62 and a half, right? Probably, she said she's 60, so he's at least 62 and a half or 65 or something because he's getting Social Security, right? Mm-mm. Yeah, he is using. That's why he want to move in with you so that he can cut his expenses. Which I mean, you know, it depends on how you want to do it. Now, what you could do is, if he moves in, make him, give you a certain amount of money, write a contract, just like he's a tenant. You're gonna pay this much a month, and if you don't pay it, you're gonna get out. And or some women like to do, like the man gives them their check. That's how but they were married though. My grandfather used to do because my grandmother managed a house. They had 10 kids, and my grandfather would work, and then he would come home and he would give my grandmother all his money. She would give him some pocket money, and then the rest of the money went to pay the household bills, shoes and clothes for the kids, food, everything that the kids needed. And she sewed and everything, so they stretched that money, went a long way. But he realized my grandmother was better with numbers and figures and budgeting and stuff like that than he could ever be. But he was a very hard working man, so he went and made the money, and then she managed, and it was a perfect relationship. Now here you two won't be married, and this guy has a history of fucking up. I'm curious to know why. How did he get in so much debt? what is that about? You said he has a debt history. That's why his money was put in a trust. Was he a gambler? I mean, I mean, you know what I mean? You left out a vital piece of information that would have told me a lot about this dude's character and his history. But I'm kind of hesitant about this moving in together thing because, like I said, once you get him in there, it's hard to get him out. And if gets he's old, right? So what if he gonna have a stroke or some shit, and then are you supposed to take care of him? You say he got long-term care insurance, but what does that mean? Does he have in-home care? Does that pay for him to be in a facility? I mean, what's going on? You need to really figure out, sit down with dude and go over his shit with a fine-tooth comb, and that will tell you a lot. It will tell you whether you can either move forward with this confident that you know exactly what's going on with him, and and it's okay, it meets your standards, or that his shit is still too raggedy, and he need to stay over there and finish working on it. But I'm thinking, a guy this old. No, I said he's at least 62 and a half if he's collecting Social Security. But she did not say how old he was. She just said that she was 60. Well, she said they're both in their 60s. That's her exact words. But if he's collecting Social Security, then, like I said, he's either 62, somewhere 62 and a half, 65 something, right? So that's what I have to say today on What the Fuck Wednesday. Ooh, these people. They just make you tired. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, she says that he's, when they break up, that they miss each other. But, that relationship sounds unstable. Over 6 years, they break up for sometimes for months, a few weeks to a few months. I mean, who breaks up for months and gets back together? Does people do that? Shit, by the time I break up with your ass for 2 days, it's a wrap. I'm done. I have moved on, Holmes. But we could have a fight, but you better be like, by the time the sun starts setting, you better be on the phone at my door. You better be bringing some flowers. Something better be happening because by the time I go to sleep and wake up, I will have been like you are like erased from my memory banks. I'm moving on. So I have a very short attention span. I tell dudes that like I have like dating ADD. I'll be like, what? Who? Huh? What you talking about, Willis? I don't know. That's what I have to say. Yeah, she's too old for this. She is too old for this. I just don't understand what's going on. Everybody here has some issues with boundaries and their self-confidence and their self-esteem. It's just really sad. We got a lot more work to do. I can tell. This is going to be kind of an interesting thing for us, but I plan to be back tomorrow with the topic. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the topic that I wanted to do because I didn't really get a chance to research it the way I wanted to. But I will be back with something interesting. So you be here at 6 p.m. sharp tomorrow. That's 9 if you're on the East Coast, and what is that? 8 if you're on Central Time or whatever. And I will see you then, you guys. And be sure to like and share a video before you leave. Bye bye.